She's thinking about you right now. Her eyes might be locked on a screen, pretending to scroll, pretending to laugh at something that isn't really funny. But her mind? It's not here. It's not with whatever she's doing. It's with you. You, the man she never replied to. The one she left on read without a word, without a reason. And yet, she still checks her phone hoping to see your name light up. Still watches your stories, pretending it means nothing. Still replays your conversations like she's trying to feel something she can't admit out loud. She misses you. But she won't say it. Not because you were never worth it, but because everything she's been told taught her to hold it in. To be proud. To be distant. To never let a man know she cares too much. Her pride is the wall. Your silence? That's the pressure she's trying to ignore. And if you're tired of playing that game, of chasing women who only seem to notice your value when you disappear, of dealing with the confusion, the mixed signals, the hot and cold energy, then this is for you. This video is about to break through everything she's been hiding behind, and everything you've been too tired to keep trying to understand. Stay with me. Because once you see the truth, you'll never chase again. Stay with me until the end, because after this, her silence will never hit you the same way again. You've been misled. About love. About women. About what it means to be a strong man. They told you to open up. To be soft. To be endlessly available. And maybe you listened thinking that vulnerability would earn you love. But for too many men, it only made them easier to walk away from. You were told to chase her. To prove your feelings with constant effort. But here's the truth, effort without respect isn't love, it's desperation. Chasing someone who's pulling away isn't noble. It's not romantic, it's fear. It's you abandoning yourself for the sake of someone who's already halfway out the door. You're not here to shrink just to fit her mood. You're not here to bend until you break just to keep her interested. You're here to stand, grounded. With quiet confidence. With purpose. With self-respect so solid that her silence doesn't shake you. In this video, I'll break down exactly why she goes distant, why the warmth turns cold, and what it really means when she starts acting like she doesn't care. More importantly, I'll show you what a grounded, masculine man does in that moment. Every lesson you hear today is a weapon. Not for revenge, but for clarity. For power. For peace of mind. Apply it, and I promise no one will ever use your emotions against you again. Not her, not anyone. Why she pulls away, the truth behind the silence. When she starts to pull back, when the texts slow down, when her replies turn colder, shorter, or flat out stop altogether, your gut reaction is probably panic. You start overthinking. Is she losing interest? Did I say the wrong thing? Is there someone else? But most men never learn the deeper truth, because it's not always about losing interest. In fact, sometimes, it's the exact opposite. She's not pulling away because she doesn't feel anything. She's pulling away because she feels too much. And that terrifies her. Because the moment a woman begins to care deeply, she also begins to feel exposed. Vulnerable. And for her, that vulnerability feels dangerous. Like handing over emotional power to a man in a world that taught her to never let that happen. So what does she do? She retreats. Goes quiet. Acts distant. Not because you've left her mind, but because she can't get you out of it. She replays your last words in her head. Wonders if she came off too eager. Overanalyzes your tone, your timing, your silences. But she won't text you. She won't reach out. Not because she's over you, but because her ego is louder than her desire. She tells herself, if he really cared, he'd reach out first. Meanwhile, she's silently hoping your name lights up her phone. This is the battlefield inside her. Emotion pulling her one way, ego dragging her the other. It's not logic. It's not strategy. It's survival. You need to see past the mask. Yes, women are emotional, but don't mistake that for weakness. Their emotions are sharp, calculated, and strategic. If this message hits something in you, support the channel, like and subscribe. Not for me, but for the next man sitting in this same stillness, questioning everything, hoping it still meant something. She might be lying in bed, staring at your name in her messages. Thumb hovering over the keyboard. She types, hey, pauses, backspaces. Types, I miss you. Pauses again. Deletes everything. And nothing gets sent. Not because she doesn't feel it, but because she refuses to break first. She's not mad at you. She's frustrated with herself, for wanting to be the one who breaks the silence. For craving your voice and hating that it matters. And in her mind, no matter how strong her feelings are, If she reaches out first, she loses. That's her logic. That's her fear. That's the war she fights with herself every night while you wonder what went wrong. You think she's ignoring you, but what she's really doing is trying to hold it together, testing herself, trying to see if she can resist the urge to fold first in a game she never openly admitted she was playing. So instead of texting you, she posts that photo, the one where she looks effortlessly happy. She uploads a quote about independence, strength, healing. She heads out with friends and makes sure it's all visible. Every move, every story, every post, it's curated. And yes, she hopes you see it. She wants to look unbothered, like she's glowing without you, like she's winning the silence. But beneath that curated confidence is a woman hoping you're paying attention, hoping you feel her absence just as deeply as she feels yours. Here's what most men don't understand. This isn't weakness. It's programming. Generational. Deep-rooted. The kind of conditioning that whispers, don't chase him. Don't reach out. Don't let him know he matters. Because somewhere along the line she was taught that chasing a man means losing him. That caring too openly means getting used, abandoned, overlooked. So even when her heart aches to say something, her pride shuts her mouth. Not because you're unworthy, but because she's terrified of losing the image of strength she's built. So she'll do everything to appear untouched. But the more effort she puts into looking like she's over it, the more obvious it is she's not. And that's the irony most men miss. You try to decode her stories. You wonder if she's mad, if she's moved on, if you meant nothing at all. But the truth is, every post is a message in disguise. She wants you to notice. She wants you to care. She just doesn't want to ask you to. And what should you do? Nothing. Don't chase. Don't analyze. Don't react. Just observe. Because your stillness, your calm, grounded silence, says more than any message ever could. And in that quiet, the power shifts. The less you try to fix it, the louder your presence echoes in her mind. She doesn't miss you when you reach out. She misses you when you disappear without a sound. When you stop showing up, stop reacting, stop feeding the chase, that's when she starts to feel your absence like a weight. You don't live in her head when you're trying to win her back. You live there when you're gone, and still glowing. When your silence is loud. When your life keeps moving forward without her. Here's what you need to understand. She'll lie to herself before she ever admits the truth to you. She'll tell her friends she's over it. She'll rehearse her indifference like a script. But she still checks your page. Still stares at your name in her inbox. Still picks up her phone, types out a message, and deletes it before sending. That's the truth. That's the part she hides behind pride. And the more you impact her, the more likely she is to retreat. Not because you didn't matter, but because you mattered too much. You're not just another guy. You're the one whose silence messes with her ego. The one who makes her question herself without saying a word. So when she starts pulling away, don't chase her. Don't spiral. Don't read into every post or every pause. Stand still, because the woman who seems the coldest on the surface, often she's the one drowning in what she won't say out loud. And any man who truly understands this knows that stillness speaks louder than any confession ever could. The more you hold your ground in those quiet moments, the more power you command in her eyes, whether she shows it or not. Because while her silence is emotional, your restraint is masculine. Your self-control speaks volumes. What's really happening inside her? It's not clarity, it's not peace, it's war. Not a war of logic, but of feeling versus fear. Emotion versus ego. And here's the catch, you're not in the ring. You're just the spark that lit it. You see the distance, the cold replies, the sudden shift, and it feels like she's fading, like you've been written off. But behind all of that, she's spiraling. Part of her wants to reach out, to say something, anything. She wants to type, "I miss you," hit send and end the silence. But her ego won't let her. Because to her, making the first move doesn't feel like connection. It feels like surrender. Her pride steps in like a guard dog, barking orders. Don't you dare text him first. Don't show weakness. Don't give him that power. She stops thinking about how much she values you. All she can see is what she thinks she'll lose if she admits it. And in her mind, whoever breaks the silence first, loses. Whoever folds feels more. And feeling more? That's dangerous. So she cages her heart. Even when it's beating hard against the bars. The cruel twist? The deeper she cares, the louder her ego roars. Because the more you matter, the more dangerous you become in her world. And in that fear, she matches your silence with her own. Not to win, but to protect herself from the very thing she craves most. Every day you stay silent, she notices. Every hour you don't break, she starts second-guessing. The longer the silence stretches, the louder her own doubts become. But you won't see it. She won't admit it. She won't post a sad quote. She won't talk about missing you. Instead, she'll wear her pride like armor. She'll post pictures with friends, throw on a smile, maybe even flirt a little, just to see if it gets your attention. Not because she's moved on, but because the thought that you might have, that terrifies her. She's scared your silence isn't a tactic, it's real. That you've stopped hoping. That you're not waiting anymore. That maybe you're done. And here's what every man needs to understand. When you chase her in this moment, you don't pull her heart closer. You boost her ego. You reinforce her strategy. You prove that staying silent was the right move. And the more you reach, the more she retreats. Not because she doesn't care, but because your chase makes her feel like she's in control. She feels above it, above you. But if you don't chase, if you remain centered, still, composed, everything shifts. Your calm becomes the thing that shakes her. Not because you're playing games, but because you refuse to be played. Your emotional self-respect holds up a mirror, and what she sees in that reflection starts to rattle her confidence. She begins to wonder, why hasn't he called? Did I misread this? Is he over me? And that doubt, that's where her ego starts to lose its grip. Because without your attention, without the validation she expected, her emotions finally get a chance to speak. Now she's not trying to win. She's trying to understand. Did I push him too far? Did I ruin something real? And for the first time, she's not asking questions about you, she's asking them about herself. And then it happens. That unexpected text. Hey, how have you been? Did you see what I posted the other day? It seems casual, but it's not. That's not small talk. That's surrender. Those words are quiet signs from someone who's tired of pretending. Her pride? Cracking. Her silence? No longer serving her. But you only get that message if you stayed steady. If you didn't spiral. If you didn't send emotional essays trying to explain yourself or fix her distance. You have to let her wrestle with herself. Alone. Don't get dragged into her emotional storm. Don't become collateral damage in a battle she created. Be still. Not passive, present. Not cold, centered. That's what strength looks like. Not shutting off your feelings, but refusing to let them control your dignity. Because real stoicism in love isn't numbness. It's self-respect. It's knowing your value and not bending it for someone else's confusion. And here's what matters most. Women respect men they can't shake. You think staying quiet makes her forget. But it's the opposite. Your calm leaves an imprint. Because when she's used to being chased, your silence is louder than any reply. She expected a reaction. A chase. A breakdown. But you didn't flinch. And now, she has to feel what she caused. She has to wonder if you're really gone. For once she has to move. Not because you played games, but because you held the line. Most men never see the game. They walk right into it. They plead, react, fall apart. But not you. Not this time. Now you understand. Behind every "I don't care" is a woman who cares too much to admit it. She was taught to wait. You were told to chase. But the moment you stop chasing, everything changes. And if you stop chasing, she assumes you never cared. That belief wasn't born on its own. It was fed to her by love songs, rom-coms, Instagram quotes, girl group chats, and every strong woman post that praised detachment, but never vulnerability. She was taught that silence is strength. That pulling away creates mystery. That if he's truly into her, he'll prove it, no matter how much she withholds, no matter how cold she becomes. But here's the part no one warned her about. When a man keeps chasing a woman who constantly pulls back, the dynamic shifts. His persistence stops looking like love and starts looking like a lack of self-respect. The harder he tries, the less she feels. Not because she's heartless. Not because she doesn't want love. But because something in her instinct sees his unchecked effort as weakness. Not the kind you fix. The kind that turns her off. She doesn't know why it bothers her. But it does. The energy says, I need you more than I need my own balance. And that triggers something deep. Repulsion, not attraction. You were taught to show up. To fight for her. To go the extra mile. To call when she stops responding. To explain yourself. to win her over. You thought it made you genuine, romantic. But in her eyes, it made you easy to overlook. That stings, but it's the truth. The script you were handed only works when both people show up mature. In today's dating world, where likes are attention and validation gets passed around like snacks at a party, your old school effort falls flat. She doesn't want more effort. She wants space to feel your absence. She wants to wonder what happened, to miss your presence, to question if her silence cost her something real. She wants to feel your worth, not because you gave more, but because you had the strength to give less when it wasn't reciprocated. When you chase a woman who's pulling away on purpose, you send a message louder than words: I'll trade my self-respect for your attention. And once she sees that, it sticks. She learns that all she has to do is go quiet, and you'll come running. That if she withholds, you'll give more. That your effort isn't based on connection, it's based on her distance. And that right there? That's how your power slips away. Not just in the relationship, but in how you see yourself. You weren't made to audition for love. You're not here to prove you're worthy through overexposure. A man who knows what he brings to the table never begs for a seat. Because a grounded man doesn't chase what disrespects him. He steps back, calm and unshaken. Here's the truth most won't say out loud. The woman who's truly aligned with you won't play the indifference game. She won't test your limits with silence. She'll respond. She'll show effort. She'll match your energy instead of making you chase hers. And if she doesn't, then every message you send after her silence isn't love, it's self-abandonment. So when you feel that urge, just to check in, just to remind her you're still there, pause. Recognize what's really happening. You're being watched. Not for your words, but for your reaction. She wants to know how much of yourself you're willing to give up just to stay visible. And the moment you reach out just to feel seen, you lose something far greater than her attention. You lose control. Because women don't fall for men they can direct with silence. But if you stay still, if you don't flinch while she waits for a response, you flip the script completely. You break the pattern. You show up as something she rarely encounters. A man who doesn't perform for attention, who doesn't flinch when she pulls away, who doesn't confuse chaos with connection. You choose stillness over struggle. Self-worth over validation. Peace over games. And the moment she realizes you're not reacting the way she expected, everything shifts. What started as a test becomes confusion. Her silence? It starts to weigh on her. The guilt creeps in. And slowly that space she created begins to feel empty. That's often when she circles back, not because you chased, but because you didn't. Something in this video sparked something inside you, like, and share it. Not just for yourself, but for every man who's ever questioned his worth in the silence of someone else's games. Share it for your brother, for your past self, for the man who's one message away from begging to be seen. Drop a Stoic in the comments. Join a community of men who don't chase approval, they lead with purpose. Subscribe and stay connected. Every week we bring you tools to sharpen your mind, protect your peace, and own your power, in love, in life, and in every decision you make. You want strength? You want clarity? Start here. And don't look back.